I'm live. Now I just need to figure out again how we share the live. Here we go. Welcome, welcome. I am just going to share that we are live. Hi Whitney. How are you? I saw that Zach had a really good day at school. I'm just sharing the link to this live to Instagram, and then we should be good. Good to go. I'll take a photo. Or maybe I won't. You guys just saw me do it. Come join our live. Tag. Tap. Okay. Oops. That was my phone. Ah, we made it. How's the connection going? I've turned my desk around so that it's like facing the wall, but these are very, very old stickers, these ones here, and I can't take them off because they just will rip off the paint. I know that the puzzle piece isn't a thing anymore, but it is on my wall if I don't want to have like holes looking. I need new stickers. He did yesterday, not so much today. Yesterday, not so much. Oh, I'm sorry. I guess it's going to be like that. Like every day is going to be a different story. Hopefully he gets into the routine of it all. Hi, Sonia. How are you? So, as we did last week, I'm going to answer the questions that people oops, what did I just do? Answer the questions that I didn't get to answer in my stories yesterday. I just moved the thing off screen. That's really weird that I can do that. Hi Brian. It's my first time being in a live meeting with you. Oh, cool. I hope that I can be more consistent. Obviously, you guys know that life can be up and down sometimes, and I really, 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 really want every Thursday to be a YouTube live. Like, I just want to do that because I love talking to you guys, and I hope when I become more consistent with it, then people can start joining and knowing that this is the time of the day that we can chat. So you guys, if you have any questions or you want to ask any questions or ask everyone here a question, what I like to start off with is, where are you guys from? Comment that in the little chat section. Where are you from? This song is going to come up again on my phone. I'm just going back to yesterday's stories to see if I missed any questions. Insights. Hi Fidget Fam, I love your name. What's your actual name? England. Interesting. Pennsylvania, Trinidad and Tobago. Where's that? Trinidad. I feel like I should know that, and it's ringing a bell in my head, but I don't remember. Okay. Gabrielle. Nice to meet you, Gabrielle. So, Caribbean. That's so cool. That is interesting. Okay. So, as I mentioned before, I'm going to answer some of the questions, and I want you guys to answer them with me. I want you guys to answer the questions because I'm no expert and I'm just sharing from experience. How many kids in your family are autistic? Kids, one diagnosed so far, and one suspected, but we don't know yet. How about you all? I'd love for you guys to answer that question too. So let's see if we can get some questions in here. Huh. I can't actually get to those questions again. Oh, yes, I can. Okay. Some of the questions that we didn't answer. Whitney says, my son and I are autistic. So you're saying that you only have one autistic kid in your family. We have one diagnosed. My son, daughter we suspect. Hi, William. Thanks for joining us. So the questions that I didn't answer from yesterday, I'm going to go into. So the number one question was like, not the number one question. Question number one is, the mornings that Jacob won't get dressed, how do you send him to school in his hoodie? So yes, some days he'll go to school in, like, I'll just wrap him in a towel when we're walking to the car, gets in the car, wrap the towel over him, and then at school he will most of the time get dressed. The sorry. There's like the odd occasion that Jacob will put the shirt on, and that's how he'll go to school. But yeah, do you guys have troubles with clothes at all with your kids or yourselves? I know I don't like certain textures and things like that, so I am specific to certain materials. Brian says, why not take them to a therapy session or something like that? Jacob goes to therapy? Is that what you're asking? Does he go to therapy? Yes, he goes to therapy, and Jazz has had an OT assessment, so we're currently trying to get funding for her to then go to therapy. I think someone says Brian is new, doesn't know much about the family. Okay. All right, then. So, another question that I got was, what prompted you to get Jazz seen by an OT? So, there were many things that prompted this. The biggest thing was Jacob's OT. So, Jacob has OT at home, and so when she comes, we do either they'll play together and they'll have a session, or sometimes Jacob doesn't want to play and he'll literally just sit in his bed and watch his iPad, and that's during that time that I usually just chat to his OT. So it's dependent on what Jacob wants to do that day. This particular day, I was ranting and talking about everything and talking about how Jacob and Jazz's relationship, and I was talking more about the Jazz sides of things, and she was asking and prompting questions, and it was prompting me to say things and think about things, and then I was like, hold on, does she have like sensory challenges? Yes. Does she have coordination challenges? Yes. Does she have communication challenges? No. She is an excellent communicator, but when she is not regulated, she is not a very good communicator. And so all of these things, and she was like, oh, why don't you bring her in for a little sensory assessment? I can have a little chat to you. I can talk, like do some exercises with her. And so we noticed that Jazz was clumsy. She falls over a lot. We noticed that she is gets very tired very easily. In the moment, she'll like be running around and do all the things, but it's usually after the fact, and she'll just be like wiped out, and which we thought was quite typical, but turns out she has hypermobility. And I'm still looking for someone to come on live with me on our channel so that we can talk about hypermobility, because I don't want to talk about it because I'm not like, I don't know much about it. So putting on school uniform is apparently a trigger for the school refusal meltdowns. Oh, that's so hard. That is so hard. Does Jacob watch Thomas and Friends? No, he doesn't watch anything. He does. He watches his iPad, but what he does is he watches these like sensory YouTube videos. So like whether it's like, I don't actually know what he watches. Like, I can't even explain it. It's like literally like sensory play and things like that, but into a video, or like visual sensory videos or things like that. And he literally just like goes from one video to the next, and he clicks onto the next one. And I think it's more of like a regulation thing as opposed to him actually watching a movie. For a long time, he would watch Moana, and I honestly think it's because of the water that is in Moana. And the music, loves the music. But he doesn't really watch anything specific. Can I do an updated bedroom tour of Jacob's room? Have I done this? Probably not, actually. It's a good reminder. Let's write that down. The last bedroom tour I think I did was when he had the bunk bed, right? No, maybe. Have I shown you guys the sensory wall? I don't know. I'm gonna have to look back on that. Like the live one, which we are on right now. I'm confused. Yes, have I shown it to you guys? I think I've shown you the walls, but I haven't done an updated room tour. His room is like not that interesting at the moment, so I've tried to take a few things out of there so it's not as visually stimulating for him. What do your kids' bedrooms look like? I know that Jacob gets overwhelmed from visual stimulus, whatever word you like to call. Before I head on to the next question, I would love you guys to click the like button of the video, and so that it can boost up the video a little bit more. One of the questions actually was, how do you mentally deal with the lack of sleep and not being able to go to sleep? I don't think I deal very well with that. I think we all have our coping strategies, and we also have ones that aren't as healthy. I don't know, what do you guys think about that question? I don't think I mentally deal with it well. I don't think there is a way that you can mentally deal with it in a healthy way. I mean, caffeine usually helps me during the day. Snacking at night helps me to stay awake for a little bit longer, so I can actually watch like one episode of a show or something. I don't know. I cry every so often, bit of a breakdown every so often. That's how I cope. I've seen his room in videos. Oh, okay. So I've shown the video. I've shown the his room. So what was your name? Oh goodness, Gabrielle. If you want to see his room, I've filmed it, but I haven't done a tour. So if you guys want me to do a tour, I can do a tour. But other than that, I am kind of falling short on videos lately. I feel like I'm in this like midpoint of like not knowing what to film and also not being able to film much. Like I don't want to film my kids too much. I don't want it to be like an everyday thing. But I also think it's important to show and share. Also, Jacob isn't in clothes a lot, so like I can't film him. So like there's a lot of just me talking to the camera, and I hope that people appreciate that. I think we all cry to cope. Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of sad that you think about it, like the lack of sleep. I get bedtime anxiety. Like I get stressed at bedtime. I'll snap at people if they are loud. Generally, my husband. Um, if we have people staying here, like I'll really, really, really like get angry. Not angry at them. I will never get angry at people. Like I've got too much anxiety for that. But I'll just be like super angry at the situation if like they're making noise or they're doing things and like it's wrecking the routine of sleep. Um, yeah, I don't know. I genuinely appreciate the knowledge and resources she. Oh, thanks, Winnie. I I'm trying to get better at sharing more of the resources and things that are available. It's just hard for me not to like do it in collaboration with whoever is the owner of it or whatever because I want to share it correctly. I don't want to be like, this is what this is, and I don't actually know what it is. So, yeah, we just share from experience what we've used, what we have spoken to people. Like, I actually like to talk to the brands and the people that share resources, and I like to have conversations with them because it gives me the accurate information of like the story behind it and the resources and all of that. And then yeah, I can actually show you guys what it is and how it benefits you guys, how it will benefit you guys. I had a meeting yesterday and it was like I have my meetings here every day, like via Zoom. Um, and it was talking to a lovely, lovely lady. Most of the people that I work with and promote are autism parents or parents of autistic kids. I need to start saying that more. Parents of autistic kids. Um, most of the brands, as we all know, it's hard to work. It's very hard to have a job that's not flexible in this space. And so everyone has gotten creative. A lot of business owners now in the disability space are actually parents of kids who have disabilities, and I think it's great. I love, love, love to work with them and share them, just because they are just like us, surviving. How old is Jacob and when is his birthday? So Jacob is going to be 6 in January. Can't believe it. 6. No way. How old are all of your kids? You don't come across as being advertising for brands or resources. Oh, that's so good to hear. I hope I don't. I really hope I don't. In order for me to spend the time bringing the information to you guys and working on it all and the videos and all of that, I do have to take a small portion of like brand deals and things like that in order for me to spend the time to do it. So I feel awful when I don't feel awful, because the things that I share are what I use, what my son uses, or what um, I think will benefit the community, not necessarily what we would use, but might benefit you guys. And I always take on the ones that are specific to what I talk about. And so it really means the world to me that I don't come across as like being like that. I don't know. I just don't want to be that content creator that has too many ads or whatever. But in the same sentence, it is kind of a job and need the money to work on it, kind of thing. Anyway, let's stop talking. Well, that's impressive. Zach turned 6 in May. Oh, I always knew that they were close in age. That's right. Exactly, you share what will benefit us. Oh, I'm so glad that it comes across that way. I try so hard. Sometimes I do feel very addy, and I don't like to feel that way. Someone asked me, can we please have a video doing our video? Sorry, let's just start that again. Can we please have a Jordan doing, guys, my mind. Can we please have Jordan doing a video on staying in shape and his diet? That would be awesome. Okay, I got through the question. Jordan has recently been going through a little health kick. I shouldn't say little, because he's lost like over 20 kilos. So he has definitely just prioritized going to the gym every day, and we both have been doing it for our mental health, but he has also been wanting to lose weight as well. So he's been doing healthy food things, and I have been doing less of that and more of the exercise. I do eat healthily, I just like my snacks. So what do you guys think of that? Emma's almost 10 now. Winnie, oh my goodness. That is insane. What is your little girl's name and how old will she be? When is her birthday? So Jazz is 4 in January. Oh my gosh, my baby is 4. How could it be? What is Jazz and Jacob's favorite food? So Jazz's definite favorite food has to be pasta. She loves pasta so much. She has become to be a little bit of a fussy eater, but she will eat some veggies, so I'm not going to say she's fussy, but limited. And Jacob's favorite food, that's a hard one, because he has his safe foods. So there's the ones that maintain every single day or a couple of times a week. Salami, mandarins, veggie sausages, salt and vinegar chips. Obviously, if we have lollies on the table, he will be gone for the lollies. So they're kind of his foods. What are your kids' foods? Like, I don't even know if there is a difference between safe foods and favorite foods, but probably, like, I'm here eating ice cream. You're allowed to do that, Whitney. You deserve that. I feel like ice cream now, even though it's like morning time. Okay. Ooh, my youngest will be 6 in January too. I think a lot of you guys like are similar ages to Jake. Obviously, like, I think when I share things, people are obviously more prone to be following me and being on the journey with me if like they're similar ages kids. What about bananas and other fruits too? Yeah, Jacob's not too. He used to be really keen on bananas. Now it's more so mandarins and mangoes when we have them. He loves mangoes. We all love mangoes. He's a big fruit eater. Likes pears. Um, Winnie, you don't like ice cream. You also hate slime. Yeah, it's probably the texture thing. I I'm a little funny with different tastes being involved. I shouldn't say funny. I don't like when tastes are mixed, if that makes sense. I'm more of a simple eater, and I'm noticing this more and more, and that's why a lot of people. Someone asked me in my Q&A yesterday whether I thought that I was autistic or had ADHD or any sensory things. I definitely notice the sensory processing issues that I have, and they're coming more prominent and more prominent as I become more open. So I think, yeah, I don't. Jordan is a big taste person, so he'll like put like a million and one things on a sandwich and be like quite content. And so I'll put like one thing on a sandwich and then he'll be like, why don't you put this on there as well? Make it better. And I'm like, but it doesn't make it better. It makes it worse. And he's like, no, because if you add things to it, it'll make it taste better. And I'm like, no, it does not do that to me. It's actually quite bad if you put this with this or you put this with this. And he looks at me weirdly, like when I eat like the simplest of things, and he just doesn't get it. Zach loves hot dogs. Alice loves chicken strips. Actually, Whitney, I was going to talk to you about this, but um, you're going to be looking into like the whole gut health thing with Jacob. He's having some symptoms of like sensitivities to foods. So I know that you went through that with Zach, and I'm interested. I just want to be so careful because he's gotten to a place where he's eating more foods now, and I don't want to disrupt that. But obviously, I don't want him to be feeling like crap either. So it just freaks me out. Yeah. I think I'm the same with like, I don't know, having like icy cold things on my teeth or whatever. Do you take Jazz and Jacob to the park sometimes? Yeah, sometimes when the weather's good. The weather has not been good, but the last couple of days we tend to like more go to the beach than go to the park. Jazz loves the park, so we tend to take her into the park. I get scared taking both kids to the park at the same time, so it's generally when Jordan's home too. Does anyone in your family like seafood? Jacob, he likes tuna. Jordan likes seafood too. I don't eat seafood, and Jazz isn't a huge fan either. Does Jacob have any extreme phobias, and if so, how do you help support him? I don't think so. Really trying to think about that. Phobias. He has things that he doesn't like, but I don't know if they're like the extent of phobias. Like he doesn't like the lawnmower because it makes a really, really obscene sound, but that's the sound of it. I'm not sure about phobias. If anything, he goes towards birds and he goes towards like bugs and spiders. And do your kids have any phobias? I'm eating dairy-free ice cream because I can't do dairy. Luckily, there's more alternatives these days. Yes, Whitney, I actually can't believe how good the dairy-free ice creams are now. Like they used to not be very good at all, and these days they're getting pretty close. And Jordan was even saying the other day, he's like, what was it? Oh, like a meat patty. Like they're getting so much better with like meat-free options as well. Like they're all tasting a lot better than what they did before. What about shellfish? We don't eat shellfish in our family. Maybe I don't like the fishy taste of fish. Maybe that's a sensory thing too. What are your hopes and dreams for Jacob and yours future? Wow, that is a loaded question. My hopes is going to be such a generalistic hope. My hope is that he is happy. My hope is that I am happy. My hope is that my family is happy, safe under a roof somewhere, and fed. Emma's is, oh, hi Drew. The View with Drew. Emma's is spiders. We're trying to teach her daddy long legs are okay. So she gets full on scared of them. Jazz is pretty scared of spiders, but I don't think I don't know what the difference between scared and phobia is. What are Jacob and Jazz's favorite subjects at school? I'm not sure. Jacob likes playtime. I don't know. Actually, they've been saying that he's been doing well with maths, so maybe he's good at maths. Jazz doesn't go to school, but she loves to do art all the time. She'll come home with like 10 paintings. I was afraid of the dark as a kid. Actually, Whitney, I am afraid of the dark still. I have to keep a light on. I was deathly afraid of the dark as a kid as well. I used to even like borderline teenager, I used to go to my mum's bed and get really scared and kick my dad out of the bed, and I would go sleep in there. But there was even a point where I would put the mattress in their room. Like, I was that scared, and I still am scared. A piece of cake. Hi. My son has a very limited diet. How did you widen your children's diet? I think the biggest thing that we did was just like note down what Jacob liked. So we've started to notice that he liked like more tangy foods and crunchier foods. So we would incorporate things into his diet and try things that are tangy, and that's how we found that he liked tuna. That's how we found that he liked salami, all the tangy foods. So, but when we introduced these foods, we never like pushed them on him. So like we would have a plate on the table which had his safe foods, usually his safe foods, and we might have a side plate that had the new food, or we might have it on the plate but just a tiny little bit. And it just allows him that space to like explore it and not be overwhelmed by it. I'm just gonna have a drink because I'm talking a lot. Raspberry sparkling water. It's pretty good. Yeah, what do you guys do to broaden your child's diet? I think honestly it was also him broadening his own diet. And we didn't, for a point there, he wasn't eating very much, and we went through the period of trying to force foods into his mouth because it was just like getting frustrating, and he wasn't eating much. He would just drink milk all day, and we're not proud of that, obviously. I didn't do it for very long, and I just stopped doing that after like a little while. But now that it's more open to him and his exploration of things, he will go towards foods more, if that makes any sense. Still very limited actually. Full on screaming, running off, crying doesn't help. We have loads of daddy long legs in this house. Oh, that's so hard. That's so hard. Still afraid of the dark when hubby is away for work. I def sleep with the light on. Yeah, I do that, Whitney. Winnie, sorry. Whitney and Winnie. Yeah, Winnie, I'm sweet little light on. Not a big light, just a little light. What time is it? Here? It is 11 a.m. What subject does Jacob do at school? I think he, in line with like the education system, he has to do all of the subjects, but they're probably already all like not limited, like modified. That's the word, modified. So they do every single subject, but all modified to his level. Offering new foods along with the safe food. Yeah, that's the biggest thing. I think there always has to be a safe food, otherwise there's no chance Jacob is ever going to even look at that plate. Like he's not even going to maybe go to entertain the thought of looking at that plate. You're in Missouri. Oh, hi, Veronica. How are you? Where are you? We are in Australia. So I might answer one more question that we had someone pre-asked. Someone said that they're fairly new to all of this, but how do you cope when getting angry or frustrated? Myself. Well, that is a hard one. Again, the same as the sleep question. I don't think I cope well. Like I always, always, always try and not hide my feelings, but like if I'm angry, obviously I'm not gonna be like taking it out on the kids. Sometimes it slips out. Sometimes I yell and I scream, and life's like not that easy for me. But when I get feelings of anger, I try. In the past, I've tried to like remove myself. So obviously, if Jordan's there, I can be like, I need to go. I need to just like, need to clear my mind for a bit. When previously, I feel like that has turned into like anxiety attacks for me. But nowadays, I need a good cry. Like, I actually need it. I need to let it all out. I used to try and hide it, I used to try and distract myself, but I think I've learned that I needed to let it out, or it'll come out some other way. This is my first time listening to your channel, so hello to you and your chat. Very interested in what you have to say. Oh, I'm so glad. A proud Aussie nan. That's cool. Is he in a private school? How is it in Australia? What do you think about the way teachers see neurodiversity? So he's not in a private school. How is it in Australia? Do you mean how's schooling in Australia, or is how is generally Australia? Australia is great sometimes. I think we're a lot better than other places, and I think we're a lot worse than other places. So what do you think about the way teachers see neurodiversity? I think it's so different for every teacher. I think there are some teachers that are neurodiverse affirming, and I think that there are some that are not and that need to be updated, and they need their skills to be updated. It's so hard to cope when you're at the end of your tether. Yeah, fully with you. And I think you're not able to cope. So like, I think if you're at the end of your tether, you have kids screaming at you, you have yogurt being spilled on the carpet, and you have things being broken and all of that. Like, I don't think we're meant to just be like, like suppress feelings and you're fine. Like, it's okay for you to be angry in that situation. It's okay for you to feel frustrated and to cry. And I honestly think it's okay for your kids to see that happen to you and know that, my parents have feelings too, and they are able to cry and they're able to feel sad. And in the same way, I don't want you to like be take that out on the kids, but sometimes you just can't cope. It's a lot sometimes. Can you give us a tour of your house? So I have actually taken down our house tour. Um, for privacy reasons, will not do another house tour. You're amazing, a great mother. Oh, thank you. You gotta let it go. Yeah, Whitney, you have to let it go. My daughter is in year 4 at a mainstream Western Australian school. Newest school teacher grads are better than the older for dealing with neurodiverse kids, in my experience. Yes, that's it. That goes for the whole like society. Like in encountering older people, just going out to dinner or whatever, I always encounter like bad situations or like stares or rude stares or anything when it's older people. Tends to be anyway. Those are some cool puzzle pieces on the wall. Thanks, Hector. I was just saying at the beginning, these are very old stickers. Obviously, we don't use the puzzle piece anymore, but someone sent them to me a long time ago. I have tried to pull them off the wall, but the paint is starting to fall off, so I'm just going to leave them there. I need to get some new ones. What kind of car and what color is it? Again, for privacy reasons, I'm not going to answer that. How old are my children? So my son is he'll be 6 in January, and my daughter will be 4 in January. Okay, I'm going to get off now. Use a hairdryer on the stickers. Interesting. I might have to try that. Maybe I'm too far gone with that though. A whole yeah, we need to paint a house, but anyway. Thank you guys so much for joining. If you have joined and you haven't liked the video already, please do so. I so much appreciate any support that you can give this video. I will be going live again next week, the same time every single week, hopefully.